Hi and welcome to Chef's Review Live, a program where we discuss current problems of modern hospitality. My name is Michał. Let's have a look. Before we get started, let me just remind you this program is being streamed live. So the more questions you ask on our live chat, the better we will cover the subject. And today's subject is localization, so the place for your venue. What it gives, what it does. And my guest today is Carlo Asuni.
Hi, welcome everyone.
Hi. So, not many are aware how much localization and the place where you put your venue, your food truck, affects your venue, and the way you work, the way you organize your workflow, and the way you organize your equipment. So, question to you, Carlo. What makes a great location, first of all?
Well, I think this is one of the most important key point in restoration, in hospitality, especially when we do in a restaurant or bistro or food truck. In this particular case, I want to talk about food truck. When we choose in our location, we just need to choose what we want to sell, for who, and how many clients, guests we think to have in our food truck. There are some places which we can choose, which is available to us, which are near, for example, big firm where are working 300-400 people per firm. Or, for example, the most simple is just to follow the events in our city or in the city you live in. Or you can just travel to the nearest city when this event will show up.
So you have to do a bit of a market research. What's happening around your place?
Of course.
Where is a good spot? So, as you said, like near an office or company or a factory. So you need to be around people, right? So
yes.
you need to look for it.
For the reason firm, because...
So what's in your opinion a bad location?
Bad location where there are few examples which we can here say. First, for me, is the logistic position. We need to be near some source of electric power, because we need the electric power if we're talking about a food truck, because a food truck of course needs electric power to work. Then we need to be not near, for example, the public toilets. Of course, that's logic to say, but unfortunately, I saw some example of bad location, which, in fact, some food trucks in some festivals that were near these looms, for example, and that for me is one of the worst. And as well, bad location is when we are near the same food truck which is selling the same things as us. So that means the one beside us is selling burgers, we're selling burgers. And we are the same. We need to be different from the others. So we need to choose the right position if we don't want to change our product.
Yeah, true. Like, you know, I can confirm that only if you have a cluster of burger trucks, everyone is taking each other, the customers away, and that's not good for no one actually. So you need a bit of a spacing. So to differentiate between the food trucks, just make sure you're not, as you said, next to a food truck that does the same basically product. Even though the menu is slightly different, it's still burgers, right?
Yes.
So you have to switch it up, and everyone will profit from it. So everyone wants to make money, so it's better to, you know, talk about it and make sure it's sort of like, you know, it doesn't even matter whether you start the cycle or whether you finish it, because what I've noticed, people are traveling around. It's like they're reading the menu first before they pick something particular.
If you are near, for example, you are near a well-known company, so people tendentially are going to the big company instead the new one. So for that reason, avoid something like this as well. Or, like I said before, just offer something which the others are not offering. For example, burgers. You said burgers are burgers, but you can make a burger differently, or bigger, or cheaper,
or faster.
Or of course faster, because if we serve in 10, 12, 20 people, guests, and the one just beside us is serving one, so everyone is going to come to us, because they're going to get very, very fast what they order.
Yeah, sure. We have to remember, like, food trucks, well, we're talking about slow food, we're talking about, you know, approach to quality, but still people on a festival, they want to grab something to eat, and they back on the dance floor. So they want to eat quickly, right?
It's very wide what we can sell in the food truck, and as well in the restaurants, whatever. It's very wide the source we can get the things we want to sell. Like I said before, now in the last 10 years there is another trend, which is slow food, like you said. And even for the food truck, they doing some preparation which are making the meat, for example, 10 or 12 hours smoked or cooked, or just put in the oven, and then chop it up and you serve that. And usually that is something which here in Europe is not used not so often. For the reason maybe we can take this way, because we offering something new. Like I said before, this is as well very, very important. For the bad location or good location, but not maybe only for that, but it's good to have something new, something different, to have our business successful.
True that. And let's talk about equipment a little bit. People do not realize how important the location is when you are taking the gear, like, you know, taking all the equipment in. So how does the location affect the equipment?
Well, like we said before, if we open, or if we are just near big companies, which they have in 400 workers each, so we're expecting, we're just wishing 1,200, for example, if we have in 3 companies like this, so it's potentially 1,200 people which they can come to us. So we cannot have a fryer which is just 5 liters, for example, or even 3 liters, even smaller, small grill, because we are going to serve just a couple of people per time. And that's no good, because we're going to have a queue of 10 people, for example, 20 people. So the 20th is going to wait, I don't know, 1 hour, 1 hour and a half. Not all the people having lunch break lunch, they have in 20 minutes. For the reason, like I said before, or we choose in good quality, because as well we need to choose, in my opinion, good quality, because durability is the key. Because if you are doing service and something is breaking, so you just closing and you cannot serve anyone.
So it's basically what I'm always trying to say, like when I'm talking about equipment, you always have to assume success. You always have to be prepared for the best, for a big queue, because there's nothing worse than seeing your customers walking away and never coming back.
And the rush hour, which all of us witnessed during our service, is those couple of hours which decide the success of the service. If in those rush hours you are ready and everything is ready to serve a lots of people very quick, so you're just 50% away from the success.
Exactly. So it's always better to invest a little bit more than save on equipment.
It's always best to invest more. Always trying to say to the people which are approaching this business, just buy the best equipment, just buy the equipment, not which you can do a couple of portions, but a lot more. For fryers, never buy just with 1 chamber, but 2 chambers is always better.
Exactly.
Grill is better to have a big one, because you can do burgers, you can do hot dogs, you can do whatever you want, meat as well. and if you have in big, you can serve big. So think big, make it big.
And if you don't need it, you don't need it. Nothing happens then, right?
Nothing.
So,
but as well, it's better if you get prepared for that. Because
exactly. Always be
clients, guests, they're not gonna give you lots of chances. Just one, two, maybe three.
Like my head chef used to say, and I'm always sticking to that. Like, hope for the best, plan for the worst. Talking about worst is the traffic that is oncoming, which is good, by the way. But you need to be prepared for it, right? I see there's questions coming in, so let's switch into question-answer mode. All right, question from Bella. How to find out what's happening? Where do I get information from?
Well, this is very easy. The first which you can use and everyone knows is the social network. And now the first social network which we all know is Facebook. In Facebook there is a little option which you can find very easily, and there you can find all the events which are around your city. Another option, which is the official one, is to go to City Hall. There you can find the people which they are gonna give you all the flyers and all the plan for the big events around the region.
True that. What I can also recommend with the Facebook, if you're a food truck owner, you can join one of the groups, right? Like the food trucking group. So people are trading their spots, people are informing about oncoming events, organizers.
And as well they're organizing where to stand.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you can contact them, that's how you can negotiate your spot, and so on and so on. So joining a group like that is also very profitable and useful. Also newspapers. We tend to forget about newspapers, but there's a lot of information about, you know, future events and stuff like that that's going on.
Yes, absolutely. But I think the people are not used to read the newspaper anymore. If we
the older ones still do, and you still want the older customers too, right?
Let's say maybe yes. I mean, for me, first option is Facebook.
That's true.
Second is the City Hall. Best option is to do both. That for me it works, because as you said, the older ones, okay, but the older ones as well, they're not gonna come to you to eat burgers because they know they're gonna get a stroke after that. So for that reason, maybe it's not that my first target as a guest. Okay.
True that. All right, Lisa is asking, there are 4 other burger places on the event. I'm the 5th. How to pick my spot? We already mentioned that, right?
Yeah.
But how to exactly pick that spot?
Exactly, in fact, we can just deep down and we need to contact the organizer. Always in these such events there is or a big company or one organizer which organize the event. So we need to contact him in the City Hall or in the flyers. Always there are some phone numbers or email address which we can use to get our information about costs, about who is there, what they're selling, and all the map as well. We need to look at the map. Where are the best position? We need to pick up at the best position.
So what would you say? Because in my opinion, there should be like a burger truck in this particular case, at least 2 food trucks in between every burger place. What would you say?
Yes, of course, it would be better something like this, because the guest is not gonna watch burger. After 2, 3, he thinks everyone is the same. Okay, and that is the logic, is psychological as well. So like you said, it's very good to do something like this. Or if you wanna sell a burger, just trying to do like we said before, try to invest to serve the people very quick, try to invest for example as well for banners, try to invest to get your place more appetitable from the people. So that means that the people are gonna watch that and they're gonna look, oh, like for example, like a weird color, for example, that is pink. Everyone is gonna look for the pink because everyone is white, black, and you are pink, for example. And that as well is something which is get the attention. That's the important thing when we are burger after burger after burger after burger. So everyone is selling almost the same.
All right. Johnny is worth asking, that's an interesting question there. What is the worst location of food truck you heard of or you've seen?
Well, I've seen and is the most common which you can think and I can think is just behind or beside the loom. In every festival, in every festival there are big zone with loom. So can you imagine 50 cabin of that, the smell and even the location? You know, people are going there to go to the loom and then there is your food truck. So you put it together, they're not going together very well.
That's true. Besides, like, you know, next to the toilet is just at the end of the tract, right? That's where you don't want to eat anymore, right? So the worst location I've seen is pretty much next to the stage on a concert. So you would think like you want to be where the crowd is, right? But too much crowd is not good either. First of all, it's noisy. Well, if you looked at it from far away, you thought, oh my God, they're having a massive queue. But then, like, you know, when I came closer, I've noticed no one's buying, everyone's dancing.
Everyone is dancing, everyone is listening. We're coming back of what we said before. You need to try to get the attention of the people. If you are beside the scene, everyone is there to dance, to listen to the music, to listen whatever is there on the stage, not to eat, okay? And then as well a very big problem, very big issue is that when you want to buy something, you need to scream and maybe it's not gonna be even enough because as we all know, it's very loud. It's very loud.
Noisy, yeah. Especially at concerts these days, right?
Yeah, it's impossible.
So it was pretty funny because I've noticed some customers walked past and they thought, oh my God, there's a huge queue. And they didn't go there because there's a queue. But there wasn't a queue, there were people dancing simply. So I was feeling really sorry for them because probably they were really happy they were in the right place. But it's not
the right place.
It's not the right place.
It's one of the worst that you can pick.
Okay, our last question is from James. Can I negotiate my spot on the event and how?
Well, now we're just connecting what we said just before about to call the numbers. We said about the flyers or from the city halls or flyers which are around the city, the town. Always you find those numbers. Contact me on this number. So we just call in. Like I said before, we need to know who is there to choose our product, or if we got, for example, only burgers, and we know that there are going to be lots of burgers, so maybe just take some tips which are colors, which are, for example, big fast service. Contact the organizer and take this vital information. These are vital because if you know who is going to be there and where you are going to be and you choose the right position, you're just halfway to the success because you're just having the target and you know what to do.
Exactly. Besides, like, we have to realize, like, on those events, whether it's a concert or it's a food truck festival, as they happen these days, everyone wants to make money. So even your competition won't be very happy when you put yourself next to them with the very similar product, because then you're taking your customers, well, you're trading your customers off between each other. So always organizers will be helpful with the changing of the spot. Sometimes for a better spot or for a spot change, you will be charged, and that's not a big cost, right? So
it's not a big cost, but
and it's a good thing to invest a little bit more.
It's one of the best, in my opinion, is one of the best thing you can do, because if you get the best spot, so you're having the best chance to have lots of guests more than the others. Of course, That's what we said since the beginning. The position is one of the best, the key point to having a successful food truck.
All right, I think we have covered the subject as best as we could.
I hope so.
If there's any more questions, please write us an email on the address below. I want to invite you to watch our next shows. The timetable is on the website. I thank you guys very much for watching and asking questions. I thank you very much for being here, Carlo.
Thank you.
And I see you next time.